同学上台。第7组同学为政治系魏彩燕以及陈小媛，来为我们带来 Scam Global Brand Local Touch。
Imagine that there is an industry in Taiwan with only 100,000 people involved, but it creates an astonishing output value of over 8 billion new Taiwan dollars per year. What's more, the industry is now rapidly stretching its branches to all over the world. However ridiculous it may sound, in reality, the industry does exist. That is, the industry of scam. I'm Patricia, and this is my teammate Sharon. Today, we're going to shed some light on this notorious phenomenon. Now, let's take a look at some of the most common types of scam in Taiwan's history. First, we have the fake gold scam. Typically, the scammers traded fake gold for the victim's money in return. Then there's the lottery scratcher scam. The scammers would fake lottery tickets and make victims pay fees in advance before they could take away prizes that didn't really exist. The third one, the kidnapping scam. The scammers would claim that they kidnapped the victim's children and would ask for ransoms, while the kids were actually saved somewhere else. Finally, we have the online shopping scam. Typically, the scammers would tell the victims that they needed to use an ATM to cancel an installment plan that was wrongly set for their recent online shopping, which would only misguide them to send their money away. Due to the time limit, I can only mention the tip of the iceberg today. With such diverse types and countless cases, we see how rampant the scam industry is. But why is it so?
We believe that there are three main factors contributing to this phenomenon. So let's have a look now. Firstly, the socio-cultural factor. The wage stagnation under economic recession, along with the rises of living expenditure, lures people to do illegal deeds. We can see from this chart and find that the Taiwanese economy has been growing very slowly comparing to its neighboring countries, which is very bad. Secondly, the institutional factors. Under the Criminal Code of Taiwan, those who engage in fraudulent activity would be given light sentences, the imprisonment of not more than 5 years and 7 years in serious cases. Bank inefficiency is a problem too. Prolonged process is required if the victim wants to stop the transfer. By the time the bank blocked the dummy account, the money is long gone. Also, few performance bonuses are given to the police who crack down on the scam. This simply provides the scammer with a great environment for tricking others' money. But can people be tricked that easily? The answer, however, is a yes. Greed, fear of authority, impulsive action, and being pressed for time causes people to think irrationally. And this is called bounded rationality. We can easily foresee that with such high potential opportunity for making a huge sum of money and only minor cost, the incentive for committing such a crime is bound to increase dramatically. The prospect of scam industry just seems promising.
I'm starting to get goosebumps. But as far as I know, the Taiwanese government has taken some measures to deal with the scam groups. Did they work?
Yes, to some extent. At the beginning, the scam group had its home offices in Taiwan. But as the police become more active in solving the cases, they moved to China. However, as the Chinese police also began to be aware of the severity of the problem, they moved to Southeast Asia to continue their business there. Afterwards, mutual legal assistance agreements were signed between China and the Southeast Asian governments. So scam groups moved to the underdeveloped countries because these countries are not yet capable of combating with these kind of sophisticated crime schemes. We can see that scamming has become an international phenomenon, which is mainly contributed by the rise of the internet. Low cost, anonymity, and its cross-border potential makes the number of scams explode. Frank Abagnale, an FBI advisor whose life story and early-age frauding experience inspired the Academy Award-nominated film Catch Me If You Can, said that scamming has become 4,000 times easier today than in 1970s. Scammer would no longer need to make up a real-life story. Faking a Facebook profile and registering for a new email account is good enough. In 2004, an American man received an email from a prince. He was aware that it was a fraud, so he made an excuse that he was working for a church and that he couldn't deal with those who are not in their faith. A few weeks later, he again received an email with a similar content, but from a holy father.
How hilarious! Though what you said sounds like a funny joke, it's actually showing us one of the most common and most typical international scam type, that is, Nigerian scam. By looking into it, we can learn more about the big picture of international scams.
So, what is Nigerian scam?
Nigerian scam, also called advanced fee fraud, is typically made by a scammer who claims himself to be a wealthy foreigner and needs help moving millions of dollars from his homeland. He would promise to offer a reward after the victim sent him a fee in advance, but, of course, the fee will vanish along with this rich person in the end. According to a report released by Ultrascan AGI, an international research organization, losses from Nigerian scams have been on the rise and total $12.7 billion globally in 2013. Just to give you an idea, with this sum of money, you can buy about 50,000 Lamborghinis or 500,000 Toyotas.
No way, that many!
I'm afraid so. The report also indicates that there are more than 80,000 Nigerian scammers in the world, and that number is growing by 5% annually. Most of them are members of the Nigerian diaspora and dwell in over 69 countries.
That sounds like a shocking number. How can they spread so crazily like this?
Well, though most of the scam groups made their homes in Nigeria, which is relatively safe, yet like other multinational conglomerates, they set up local branches in many countries. These branches set up more branches of their own, and so on. That's why the scam cells can be found almost everywhere. Needless to say, Nigeria is the biggest stronghold. Benin, the UK, South Africa, and Spain have been heavily invaded. Mounting Nigerian scam operations are a big problem for China, Taiwan, and Malaysia too. And there are cells in the USA, Canada, Brazil, Ghana, Egypt, India, Russia, and the Czech Republic. These days, it seems that the only place on Earth without scam cells is Antarctica. For now, anyway.
To avoid being scammed, always be cautious when you're asked to transfer money. You can type the name of the person or the company that contacts you in Google search engine and see if there is any complaint. Remember, if something looks too good to be true,
It probably is.